That's why I did know
That one's good. It's already got it. Yeah.
You might have that you should.
All right, I know you didn't beat me here.
Excuse me, before you get officially going, I'd like to thank Matt Koser for his equipment we're using tonight to live stream the meeting. The small meeting that was live streamed last time had over 255 views. So people are interested on what's going on, even if they can't make it to the meeting. So this one should probably have even more views. So, thank you very much.
All right, we're going to call this Board of Trustees meeting to order Monday, May 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Roll call. Bruce?
I'm here.
Russ? Ben?
Here.
Dan?
Can you speak up, please? I can hear you back here.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
All right, I'll wait for you.
Everybody was the same. They needed to be able to hear you.
Okay, usually I'm the one who's got the lightest voice, but we're working on the sound system, so this is our first attempt at trying this one. That costs nothing. So we're gonna, the next one is like a $3,000 one, but we're gonna try this one first. So thanks for letting me know that I gotta speak up a little bit more. Because we already have 6 speakers in here, so we're gonna try it out. All right. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everybody for coming tonight. One thing that we had heard some information on and what some other villages do is that they have these reports. So like we have the village resident report, but to save time, instead of reading them, everybody has them in their packet and everybody can access them online. So unless one of the trustees has questions about it, we're just gonna move along.
I have a question on the Mike Russ situation. From what I understand, he had resigned because of medical issues in the past. And he's coming back. Do we have anything, clearance from his doctor indicating anything there?
Mike is gonna be volunteer, and he didn't say anything about any medical issues
Well,
at this
volunteer or
time.
not, wouldn't the village be liable if he had something happen or something?
Shane, can I ask Mike since he's here? Mike,
Yes.
do you have any medical issues that would prevent you from being?
I don't know if you want to answer that.
Oh.
No.
I'm sorry. If you have any medical
No, you
issues
don't have to answer
that
that.
would prevent you from being a
let's-
constable, let me know.
It's
We'll
strictly,
talk after.
strictly volunteer, and I have Joe Yada is going with me all the time.
Okay, we'll talk after.
Okay,
Okay, because wouldn't he want to be on the village insurance?
I don't think this is just the village president's report. This is not a call for action.
No, I know, she
Oh,
said
okay.
there were any questions.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
just
yeah.
asking, I'm just saying those are things that we,
So we need to look at before we can take action.
correct.
Yeah.
So is this gonna be put on the agenda to take action?
That's the question.
yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna have to be.
Yeah, if he wants to, we can't just.
I thought the village got rid of the constable position.
We've been getting some calls on dogs. and so that's why it came up.
I don't,
Well, we need to, this needs to be put on the agenda.
Okay, I'll put it on the 26th.
this gives you a heads up that it's coming.
Yeah, good question. Anything else?
Just let them know that it's intern until you find a full-time or get another one. Because like she said, we've been getting calls, dog calls, and we're just here to back them up.
Yeah, understood.
I've got a question. RC pavers, finish 20th, is that already been approved, or is that something that's approved also?
That was approved last year, and they have it mostly complete, and they just need to come back and complete what they already had a little bit on from last year.
Precision seal coating,
They come back annually, and they're already almost done. They have like an annual street sweeping.
but I believe normally, in the past, we approved that every year. And then roll call, Paul, the use of the fire department, was that approved by the previous board?
We have at least that we can use that building, and so this is something that came up, but it wasn't approved by the board to use that. However, I did verify that it's covered under insurance.
It was probably, should that be approved by the board?
We have an existing lease.
I don't look for using for that.
Turks, as I'm reading the report, it says that they don't approve anything, so
No, do we need to approve the fire department using that for training?
if it's allowed under the lease, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's more for the fire department, if they want to use it for training.
Okay.
And if our lease allows for it. Yeah, I don't think we need board action.
Okay.
Judith, we've gone through that, with their training that they're gonna do, are they gonna do any smoke or anything like that? Okay.
No water. no-
Okay, because obviously there's a lot of stuff.
They gotta stay within the confines of the lease too.
Yeah, okay. Very good.
That's not the chief.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ready to move on to number 5? Finance and Personnel Committee report, no report for this month. Number 6, Treasurer report, no report for this month. Fire Department report. Any questions for the chief?
There's a correction on there, there's 2 applications, not just one.
That's the one I got to you today. Any questions about the pump training in the Village of Brokaw? So haven't ordered the brush truck as of yet.
It's ordered. I just don't have, I actually got an email today. They have it, it's on the build list. He's gonna let me know when it actually goes in. So it's on the list now. Shouldn't be that long before it goes.
Did they give you a target date?
Not yet, not until it actually goes on the line to build. Once it goes on the line, then we'll have a better idea when it's gonna be done.
County Supervisor report?
So for the county, just some action items there that I want to share. So So the first item was out-of-home placement reserve increases. That would be court mandated out-of-home placements that the county ultimately pays for, and the cost continues to rise on that, and it can be unexpected as to how many placements occur. So we're just increasing that reserve just because some of them can get rather expensive. Resolution to amend the social services budget, that was additional federal dollars that went to the state, but were unencumbered so far. So the state allocated those out to the counties that can be used for different social improvement fund programs. So really just adding more money to that well for those funds. And then lastly would be more related to the tornado that went through impacting Green winter. The solid waste department worked to come up with a good tipping fee structure to allow us to recommend. So the state waived their fee, we will waive their fee for their residents, and then we reduced it basically just their minimum to operate the facility. Thank you.
We're going to also have public comment regarding other business and limited to 3 minutes. If you could just stand and state your name and your address, please. Joe?
10325 North 60th Ave. As many of you know, I support the committee action. More people to get involved within the government itself. I think they bring a lot of value to it. And many of us volunteer for that, so there's no real cost. Also, the discussion on the laptop and the iPad for the staff. If you're in the trade, you've got to have the tools, and this is just a tool of the trade today. So it makes sense to go ahead and get those so that people have the right tools to work with. Thank you. My opinion.
Anybody else?
My name is John Orman, 3800 Falcon Drive. I'd like to congratulate the new board that was recently elected, and to especially congratulate the good for the leadership that you've provided for us in the last 2.5 years. I am one of the 500 residents that voted for change, and change is committees, and I support them fully. I am told the hardest challenge a new board member faces is when voting. Yet you are representing the Village of Maine. There is a big difference to vote the way you want personally, or to vote representing the village as you were elected. And I had no experience in that, but I've been told that by a lot of people that were newly elected on boards, that there is a difference in voting personally or voting what you were elected for. Open and transparent government is the corner of our democracy, and that's committees. Democracy is the people having committees involving the residents of Maine and establishing their government. There are 145 villages in the state of Wisconsin. And I can assure you, everyone operates with committees. This also gives the village board more assurance when they vote that they are representing the people that elected them to the board. It has been proven many times that committees are a necessity to properly serving the residents. Without committees, as an example, it takes us back to the small government management. No involvement of the residents. We can look at the current budget that has $138,000 per year for potable water. That was costing taxpayers nearly zero after the ratepayers paid for their usage. That $138,000 will be for eternity. plus their share of the taxes. They'll pay for their use of the water, the people in the hydrant area, and they'll also be paying for the $138,000. So actually, they're paying twice. The entire village residents that are not receiving potable water and now are also paying for it. The entire village is paying for our water system. And in the past, our water system, before we switched, was nearly zero after the ratepayers paid.
Water system isn't on the agenda.
Yeah, and John, your 3 minutes are up, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it isn't? Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you, okay, I apologize. Okay, not one committee was formed in the past to represent the village residents. Little or no public comment was provided.
Thank you. Your 3 minutes are.
3 minutes is up.
I'll say thank you, I'll cite it by 3 minutes.
We won't come back.
I apologize, I didn't
oh,
know
no
that.
worries. Anybody else? All right, we'll move on to number 10, approval minutes of the Form 21 reorganizational meeting and the 5/5 special meeting.
So, number 5, that was stated for 2 months.
As well as 6.
Correct.
Okay, so motion, okay, that's my words. Motion to approve the minutes of the 4/21 reorganization meeting, correcting item number 5 and 6 to say, 5 wasn't tabled for 2 months.
Yes, it was.
They're both right?
Yes.
Because it time left.
5 and 6, say table for 2 months and the 5/5, oh, and the 5/5 special board meeting carried. So you want to change 5 and 6 to say table for 2 months?
Correct.
Okay. That's by Wes, and who seconded that?
Second.
We're seconding, just so I'm clear, we're seconding to approve the minutes with the change.
Give those changes.
Yes. Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Did that motion also approve the 5/5?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Great question.
Yeah.
Anything else?
They're approved.
Okay.
They're approved. That's what your motion was, second.
And the one from 5/5.
Was approved as well.
Yep. They're right.
So I did ask Shane about this being on the agenda again. And it was okay to put it on the agenda again. Do we want to revisit it or do we not want to revisit it for another one?
Well, given what just happened.
That's number
I think you gotta
12.
wait.
Okay,
That's number 12. Number 11 is what.
right. So number 11,
Number 12 will be the one that should stay tabled until next time. Correct. Number 12.
even if somebody brought up, even if a member, where you and me talked and you were like, you know, I do want to revisit that. And so even if,
But there's been official action on the board.
okay,
I didn't know that you guys tabled it for 2 months.
Yes.
all right, thank you.
So, yeah, no, that's, so, so 12, we're not tabling it.
12 and 13.
Oh, yeah. You get that one.
Oh, we're on 11.
Right, we still need to do it.
Yes.
So 11 is discussion and possible action on the trustee committee appointments to finance and personnel committee. So it consists of 5 members and then 1 member, there's actually 2 members are actually trustees. What? For the finance and personnel committee.
So, since I was the one who brought up the motion about, can I talk about it openly, right? Yeah. I've had a chance to look at it more than what I did before the first night of us being here, trying to make a vote on that. Didn't know any of the trustees, really, you know, my neighbor a little bit. As I look into it, I see the finance part of it being okay with me with a few changes. I think that the trustees, since we serve as a 2-year, that we should be the 2-year part of it, and the resident has 1 year. Not saying that the resident wouldn't be brought forward year after year after year. I just think it makes sense since we're here for 2 years and it's really coming back to the board and the board is initiating it, that there'll be some 2 years, every 2 years when we switch trustees, if we do, that the residents will switch over to. So that's my opinion. So a couple more opinions. Pick the residents every year. Whether it's the same residents, they should be in front of the board to be picked. Need to make is, my point towards that is we need to make sure that we solicit or we need to get as many people as we can from the community to get a wide varying of community. So I think also that if you don't pay everybody, whether the people donate the payment back to like the Lions or something like that, I think everybody has to be paid so that one person doesn't feel that, okay, everybody else is volunteering, but I can't really afford to do that. You know, they have to then volunteer too. You know, that's my opinion. And I think because of the amendment, the president can't sit on the committee, which I think makes total sense. Because we're trying to get it back to the president to give ideas. I think that was all I had on that. I shouldn't have said abolish, okay? So I feel bad about saying that because as I looked more into it, there are some good points to that finance, especially to give more smarter people than me. Does that make sense? Like a CPA or somebody in there, that makes total sense on the finance side. I think it should be driven towards calendar, budget. Personnel-wise, I don't think, I mean, we don't really have a personnel issue. I realize they caught the personnel issue with the insurance or the taxes last year. The audit, yeah. So I just think it should be more pushed towards finance, push towards calendar, push towards that. That's my opinion.
Can I just say, the agenda 11 calls for trustee committee appointments. Trustee committee appointment. You're talking. Are you looking to want to reformulate?
I should finish my statement. So if the whole board, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I did. So if the whole board wants to keep it the way it is, and we all vote that way, that's fine. Yeah,
We can't change it tonight, just so you know.
No, I'm just saying my opinion is that that's what I'd like to see over the way it's written today. Is I'd rather see other ways so that the other board members know. Does that make sense?
So then there's a motion to take no action and ask when we get down to number 22, that ordinance be brought before the board. That would be a suggestion.
So the motion, say that again.
A motion to take no action on the village trustee committee appointment.
Until we amend it, it would be amended.
Yeah, because we have an ordinance and it sets out the duties, and we already have one amendment which lays out the 1 year. So we would amend those ordinances
To match that.
to match that,
Yeah.
then do the appointments.
Yes.
It's just one board member's suggestion.
I think he's supposed to.
You make it a formal motion if you want.
I'll make it a formal motion because that's how it feels.
So it's to take no action on the trustee committee appointment, but then for the next meeting, because we can come down to item 22, place section 118 and 119 of the general code, I'm sorry, 118 of the general code. For discussion and action to amend. And then at the next meeting, we'll get into the specifics about, I follow what you're saying, but since you can't take specific action on that tonight. Okay. Because we just have.
In the meantime, would it be helpful for Dan to like redline it so that we know? Or could you redline that and send that to me so that we have what, you know?
I could definitely write something down.
Okay. And I can send it to you in a Word doc, okay?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I do have it.
Yeah, so.
Okay, that'd be great.
So the motion and a second. Any discussion?
Can I make just one comment? And I want to make it loud enough for the audience to hear, even though we're talking to ourselves. The intention is not to remove the committee. The intention is just to narrow its focus or define its focus a little bit better. So I know there's been question, we've questioned it ourselves, the value of the committee, but I think with the right focus and direction, I think it can be useful and functional.
Yeah.
Is everybody's understanding?
Yeah.
Do I have to take a vote if you want or a roll call vote?
You can call for a voice vote or roll call vote. Does everyone understand the motion?
Yes.
All right, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those
All those
opposed?
opposed? So then we'll move down to number 14. So number 14 is discussion of possible action on approving the interim clerk as interim clerk deputy treasurer.
I'll make a motion to approve the interim clerk, interim clerk slash deputy treasurer.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Number 15, discussion and possible action on approving the purchase of a laptop for the clerk, now deputy treasurer. And here's our quote. It's $1,029 for the Hewlett Packard laptops, and then the docking station is for Jamie. And then for me, it's just the laptop. Right now, this is my personal laptop where I have a whole bunch of stuff on.
Can we just ask what happened to previous laptops?
Honestly, I think there's only desktops. There was an iPad that we paid for every month, but I have not seen the iPad. And we do have one laptop that is for elections,
Okay.
but there's no other laptops.
Because well, I'm just thinking, because wasn't there one that had been purchased last year?
We purchased one for the chief,
Oh,
and then also the software.
So do we have to, do we have to have multiple bids? Or do we just take this bid? I mean, does it put in the village interest? Is this our best bid? You know what I mean?
I went through Network Professionals because we have everything through Network Professionals.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Yeah, that's where I went through because they'll do all the configuring and they're doing some stuff in Bundle and even like, oh, we have extra keyboards, do you want one? Like, we have a bigger screen, do you want one? I mean, I just went to Network Professional just because they already do all of the desktops.
Do we have, is this in the budget?
Yeah, this is in the budget.
We have money budgeted for
We have
this?
money, yeah, we have, I wish I could pull the budget up for it,
I know,
but we can't down here.
I noticed the document, the one that you sent me for the budget had. Oops, there we go. Influencing me. It had said that we were over budget on the clerk. Yeah, clerk computer software, we had 4425 was the actual, and it was budgeted for 3,000 according to this. One you sent me.
I don't know if that's for the workforce
Is that what it was?
software, it's brand new, but that's a lot more than that. Yeah, we'd have to go do honest.
Well, I think we just,
I have another question, like, when were the computers last purchased, is my question. Or what are we doing with and then what are we doing with what we do have, the desktops?
The desktops will stay,
Stay.
right, the desktops will stay. Well, they're old enough that I cannot see the letters on the keyboards. They're worn off. On
The
on
keyboard can be worn off, I'm just wondering
yeah,
when the desktop itself was purchased.
and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have any files
I'm
past
just wondering,
2025
you
and
know what version it is
2026.
this one? Just, I mean, that might give us a little landmark.
I think right now only 11 is running.
Oh, but I mean, on these,
It should be, because I think 10's outdated.
right, but I'm just saying if they're running 10 or not, whatever, it would give us a feel for when they were purchased. Age.
Also, according to this, you do have administrative computer software, 2,000 for the budget, and 0 has been used for administrative. So when I was going through this, it looked like the 1,400 that, according to this document, the 27th of April, that the clerk one was over 1,400, but that there was coverage in 2 other spots on those sheets, if that's the actual budget. That's the one you sent us. Does that make sense? So I think the money is there, but it's not, but it's over on clerks.
Over on the clerk and 0 spent on the administrative.
Over
Next
1,400. Yeah. Just information.
But I agree with you. I'll make a motion to approve the purchase.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
This, in the future, even more work is coming out of the budget for stuff like this.
And now that you've approved her to have deputy treasurer, she can access the records. Discussing a possible action on approving an interim treasurer. 2 resumes. The notes on that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Was the motion for number 50, right?
Oh, 15 and 16, I'm sorry.
Was there a motion for both
Oh,
items?
thank you.
I made the motion to accept the,
For both items, okay.
so it would.
That was a good question. Thank you.
That was your understanding.
So this should be for like a 20-hour-a-week part-time interim treasurer position while we pursue hiring a part-time treasurer / deputy clerk. If you want to review the 2 resumes that we sent, Jamie, she works full-time. She'll be able to work in the office on Wednesdays and Thursdays and from home as needed. And then Jody, she would need to work mostly at home. I did talk with Jamie about this, our clerk, and she said also now that she can perform many of the responsibilities, now that approve the deputy treasurer. And so if we want to slow the roll on that, and we want to post it and go through a different hiring process instead of a interim, that's also an option. You can think of that as well.
Where did these resumes come from? I mean, how are they
People
going?
who knew, remember when last year we were gonna, separate the clerk and treasurer position? And so we already had approval, we had a resolution for it, we were ready to accept the application. So it's kind of been like in the wings to have a part-time treasurer. And so when people found out that we're gonna go along that lines again, I just started getting some resumes for qualified.
We haven't posted it yet.
We haven't posted it.
Oh,
It's just residents who knew that was in the wings and sent along resume.
So, did that, just get a little bit of experience for workers.
You know, I did talk to Jeannie about that, and she said that it would not be a difficult lift to teach them workforce as long as they have like an accounting, that type of a background, some sort of info.
If we put this off, if we were to go the route of posting this and put this off, Jamie, do you have the bandwidth to do that work for the extra 20 hours a week? Would be necessary.
As long as everyone is a patient, but finding other things that are really good. I mean, there's sometimes a package on
Right.
at certain times of the month, so.
Yeah, but not, and they take priority and other things have to slide. Because my opinion is I think we should post it as good and not try to put an interim person in place where for the first couple of months they're not going to be real productive anyway. If Jamie can fill in that, I think that would be my suggestion. Better way forward.
Possibly just a suggestion, because you might want to have job descriptions before.
Agreed.
Just because right now there's not.
Okay, yeah, we need to have that. And then,
do we have that personnel policy, the hiring policy? Is that enacted or not? No?
What's connected for hiring?
Yeah, well, I can look at it, but
I
I'll just
stand-
find it in my notes.
Okay.
I will verify that,
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure there is.
Heard about March.
I'm pretty sure at the March meeting we did it March 9th. So I'm pretty positive on the March 9th one, it's the hiring policy.
It was tabled for the week before,
Great.
not the week. Meeting.
March 9th of this year.
And remember that goes through the finance and personnel committee. So that's also something else when you look at the finance and personnel committee. The hiring policy is tied to that.
right, but it's tied to it, but the board can fill in if the committee isn't available. Ultimately, it comes to the board anyway.
Correct.
So if the committee is not quite established and ready, it can bypass that.
The top candidates.
And if you revise the ordinance on the committee, then by operation of the division, they'll lose that. Bid with that.
Right,
Right,
Because that's going to be on the next agenda.
right.
right. And that was something on the policies that I also had, personnel policy. I think the board should see all of them. I don't think it should be pick and choose from the voted people that were elected, should see all of the resumes for that. Make a decision. We can make it pretty fast. I think that, that was better.
So we should probably the next meeting, come up with a job description, figure out the pay scale we need. Can we go into closed session, figure out the pay scale?
You can't.
Can't.
No, that's just, not just if it's general job descriptions and general pay scale, that has to be done in open session. If you're going to do interviews and things like that, you can go into closed session. The only thing that usually comes out is if you have finalists, then the finalists are not subject to those are the record requests we have to provide for those resumes. Some positions are confidential until you're a finalist.
So, that was a question too. Can these resumes be put on like social media?
We didn't network and stuff.
They're on the website.
No, I know, because I assume it was posted, but we don't know it was posted. I didn't look at our hiring policy, we didn't say that we could be confidential.
Right, that's what I'm just wondering if somebody's still working
Yeah,
and they
well,
wanna do
we've
this.
got to make that decision, is it gonna be confidential, which means we're gonna do things in closed session, until we have finalists. So we
Yes.
have 50 resumes, someone's gonna have to lead down to top 2 to 3, whatever you guys determine. Those are not confidential.
The other ones are.
If you say they are, people need to know. If we
Right.
want to.
Well, they should,
And I suspect these people realize that this wasn't confidential. I haven't talked to them.
the application should be confidential until we get it here done. Because we don't, people are gonna go, I want to apply, but I can't because I don't want my resume sitting out there in my boss.
It's not addressed in the hiring policy, so I'm thinking redline that hiring policy as well, because it's not addressed in the hiring policy.
Okay.
So it's something else to address along,
Understood.
and bring it, on May 26th, bring up the hiring policy as well as deadline.
So some suggestions would be that there's
I don't know
no
that.
action taken on item 7. Just don't take it. Because we have to get the hiring policy back here.
Yep, yep.
Walk through it.
Okay, yeah, no action. So we could get, next month, we get feedback from Amy as to how she's doing with taking that on.
A long drive, I can write down all the way.
I spoke up about May 26th, but that might not be our date. That's something we'll discuss at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Under 18,
Is there a consensus, no action?
oh, consensus for, all those in favor of no action?
Was there first and second? That we take no action.
Bruce and
Yeah, I'll make the motion to take action. Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Number 18, discussion and possible action on approving posting 2 part-time, this is for posting 2 part-time public works positions. So when I met with Nate and Nick and Michael and asked them questions like, what do you want to have to stay the same? What do you want to have different? What do you need? They all agree they need 2 part-time public works for working full-time or working extra during the spring and the summer and the spring and summer, and in snow plowing, so they don't fall behind. And so that's what they would like to do. So what we're looking for is a discussion and possible approval for posting 2 part-time public works positions. They'll have to have a CDL. They did ask for people who aren't like you got it, they're gonna come up with how strenuous their jobs are gonna be in the spring and summer, that just having a CDL and retired, but if you're not capable of getting out of the truck and cutting down trees and throwing them in the thing, but they have a lot of ditch clearing, a lot of tree cutting down, a lot of those types of removals, that they said having an extra hand or 2 are super helpful. And then in the winter, it's just too hard, and they were working 30 hours at a clip. And
Description together.
they're gonna put a description together, and so, once we have an approval to post it, I'll put that description. What we can do is table it until the next board meeting with that description if you want, to like what it's gonna be, but they would like, discussion about that this is a real need, and,
Does the board have to approve the job description?
I was just gonna ask you about pay. What's the pay?
we're just asking if we can, like, are you agreeable, like, for us to move forward on, are you agreeable for the village to move forward on that? Like, if you said no, you know, the legwork wasn't gonna get done, but if you're like, okay, that's gonna be a good idea, then we'll start the legwork on it.
Yeah. So I would like, yeah. Okay. So I would make a motion that we meet the description of eight. The next board meeting to approve the posting. Is that correct?
And I would add on to that, like how much is, paid, but looking at the budget then too, to make sure where we're pulling that
Where's that budgeted?
right. So I like to, see the budget, compare that to where we're,
And they do
how that
too. And so one thing that we are gonna, or that I'm gonna initiate, and Gina's gonna initiate, that the public works knows their budget. And they know how much is being spent on things. They haven't known that. And so bring them into the budget discussions as well, so that they know as well. And so, Dan, you made a motion to go ahead and pursue it. Did anybody want to second that?
second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, we'll get that description and then that pay and then the budget lines. Okay. 19, discussion of possible action on approving the ACH. And so it's direct deposit. And so right now, the public works, they, and even talked to our janitor today, they come in and they get a check and they want a direct deposit and we can pursue that. But we need your approval to pursue employees getting their paychecks via direct deposit. And it's something Dave requested.
I'll make a motion to approve direct deposit.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Okay.
Aye. All those opposed? It'll still take a little bit of a process, so that should happen in,
What you had was $10 a month and she's gonna wait for 6 months.
I think that's been pretty true. Okay, number 21, approve the monthly vouchers for payment. Oh, quick report, I'm so sorry. You guys wanna look at that and let us know if you have any questions? Trying to read it, so working with Darren to sort through permit applications that were submitted before April, not followed up on. I just talked to Darren before that, well, no, I can't talk about that because that's not my report, that's what.
I'm gonna ask Jamie, do you have any additional or any other comments? Like to
I've just been having a lot of people coming in, so it's there's some days where it's a constant phone ringing, people coming in, and there's other times that I haven't nobody, so those days are really nice to get caught up.
Yeah. Well, if you've got the posted office hours, if you work outside of those, you should be able to. People should not be, they might be knocking on the door, but you can still see the sign of it. So, hopefully that helps you.
It does, yes, definitely.
Are people coming in, is there any particular pattern, or is it just all over?
It's all over.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was a particular pattern. Any questions?
Are you good for the August, Brian?
Yeah. The biggest thing right now, I think I'm in report, but I would absolutely love to have the ordinances electronic and be able to put on the internet. That's a lot of the questions I'm getting, it would be really easy if I could just direct people to where it is online instead of flipping through a binder.
Is there a spot on the website for it?
There is, but they would need to be limited, yeah.
Scan with PDF.
And remember, this is a project that the village has been struggling with for a while, even in the beginning, and because you're dealing with two sets of ordinances, the town of Maine plus the village of Brokaw, and all of the amendments of those ordinances that has occurred since that time. Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly. Which is why we're begging, this is off topic, to do, it's up to it.
Can I address that though?
Is it ever,
No.
then we can't.
Under new business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually it is, trying to sort through the ordinance binders, they're
Alright.
really needed to be updated. So
Okay.
it's in there, it's in there.
It's in there.
Thanks, Ben.
Can't we make it an agenda item?
Yes.
To get something figured out cost-wise?
Right, so we already have a bit, we already have a proposal from Cedar, can't remember the name.
Let's not take too much
Oh,
details.
okay,
Let's just
okay,
get it
we'll
out.
get a detail. Darren and I had a conversation with somebody who had a previous proposal to combine Brokaw and the Village of Maine ordinances. However, part of that proposal was not uploading them to the website, making them, they were all like PDFs. And so we are looking at another company or companies that do a really great job of doing that,
Which will be under the business.
which would be under the new business then.
Okay.
I don't want to get into too much detail
Right.
because
But we're on
this
it.
is James' report.
We're working toward that already.
It's too easy to report since we're talking.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I have no issue with the report then. Do we need a motion to approve?
So then number 21, approve monthly vouchers for payment.
Stop right there for a second. I do have a question. I just saw the line item for Lincoln County, I saw it, when I was looking through it. For a stray cat, that's $1,250. And then there's another one in there for $500.
250, it's $250 a cat. So when people bring stray cats up into Lincoln, we are charged $250 a cat. That's how many cats must have been brought up into Lincoln County Humane Society during this.
So do we have a record of it, like a report that they give us? Or do we
They
just
must
blanket
send us an
give them?
invoice, they send us an invoice that these are the stray cats that we've taken in.
10 cats.
Or no?
No, they took 5, they took 6 cats in, $250 a cat. $250 a cat. I'm so sorry, like 2 years ago, I brought in 2. Without knowing how much. But I think people end up like bringing cats out to the country and like dropping them off. So that's a good question.
I was just trying to
I
understand
don't
why
know
there
what it
was.
costs now in Marathon County, this happened way back, when I was for the previous Marathon counties. It was gonna cost us 10 times that for them to take our cats. And unfortunately, I had a good relationship with Lincoln County Humane Society, and they cut, this is a deal.
I'm not questioning that part of it. I was just questioning why there was $1,250 line item, and then farther down there was a $200.
It's a huge deal.
It's a big cost to the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. But it's a good deal, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's cheap, I mean, cheap compared to what it costs to take a Marathon County. My understanding is Marathon County has to take their dogs, but they don't have to take the cats, so they can charge us whatever.
Because we tried to take them to Marathon County and they were taken and sent us to Lincoln. Yeah.
We'll take them to broke on saving us some money.
For everybody jumped off your cat. Dropped off a raccoon there before, just so you know, so.
Is there
My
any,
apologies.
is there any way to show us where we're at in the budget on these things?
That's, yeah, the next,
Budget to actual report.
yeah, I did have the one that I can pull in the software. It's missing accounts. So I have to go in and tell the report to pull all the accounts that are associated with your expenses.
Okay, So we're approving them before knowing that we're still in budget, we're still.
Well, mostly, except for the ones that I didn't print yet, these were already sent out. I pulled the report from what Cindy did from her April meeting when she left.
I'm just, yeah.
Is that a good question?
Going forward, we have a budget to
Yes.
actual for each, so we know.
So this is how we're gonna approve Phil's loan. Because this house isn't how I did it before, and I'm not saying this is bad, I just wasn't expecting this. In the past, we had an actual paper bill where you can see what, you know, the actual bill, and you actually see what the stuff was we were paying for.
Yeah, I've asked Jamie and
If you want the paper bill, if there's, I can go grab them, but it's,
I'm not, I would have studied this better previously.
Gene, you can put the paper bill on the thing here, so during the meeting, you guys can go through it.
Yeah, I forgot, some of the big ones, I personally like to see what, how we got to that number, right? Does that make sense?
So just put them in a folder out, so what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So it's a bill.
Then we just ask them if they can pull that.
Thank you.
so what about the approval for tonight's motion?
So we got a motion.
So what about the approval for tonight then? And then moving forward, you want to have this plus the budget for actual report that you can now access and provide. And you want the paper copies in case you have a question, you can go through it and you can pull it out. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'd say just the paper copies. Bigger, like multiple, I mean, like the $45 one for nitrate testing. You know, to waste your time to put all of those, in my opinion, put all those down, but when you get to like a $3,000 one that has like 4 different things, what did we pay in that? You know, how did we get to that number? Because maybe, especially in the personnel and finance, that'd be a great thing to have.
Did you want like a $3,000 limit, like a max, or I mean a minimum? Is that what you're saying?
on the standard, or just bring them all.
Yeah.
Just bring them all in that way, we said, you know, we can just say, hey, this
Plus, this
particular
isn't
one.
technically on the agenda.
Okay, so sorry.
No, that's fine, because we gotta figure this out moving forward. So
Okay.
just bring them all.
So the check register, or the vouchers, the budget to actual report, to show you where we are, and the actual paper copies.
Just the folder.
Okay. So for the monthly vouchers that we have here before you tonight, what would you all like to do?
You looking for a motion to approve these?
The payroll ones are part of this too at the end?
Yep.
Okay. How are hours logged in, just from, I mean, I just see like some big hours. I'm not saying it happened, but, how are they, is there a time clock, is it run off of computer use? Paper time sheet?
For everybody? Everybody has paper time sheet?
The bigger ones there, so Cindy, I don't get vacation pay, so that's why it comes out as a fee.
Okay, so that makes sense, see if we have to link to it down.
She, you had to have paid for a few months, so this is months for contributions.
Yeah.
Cindy didn't pay her before you left. Cindy didn't pay her before she left.
There was one, but not very hours, but she was the 500 a month for these, not any hours.
Chief gets a base payment, so.
Correct.
Yeah, they didn't get to turn it. Here's what we should have turned it like everybody else.
I
Every other
think
week.
they returned the position.
You know, and I mean, that may be a catch up, I mean, it's been a thing reflex. We're going forward after that.
Yeah.
Just advising.
Anything else, Dan, on the?
No, that's good. That answers your question.
Anybody else?
I'll make a motion, we approve the vouchers and the cleaning register.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? New business.
Yeah, no, you get to talk about, I have items 12 and 13 are gonna be, because they were tabled. The other one I have written down is revisions to section 1.18, which is the personnel and finance committee ordinance. And then the third one I have is ordinance codification discussion. That's the companies that we discussed. As to new business and under new business, those then will be placed on the next village board agenda, which is next.
So this,
Can we talk more about that ordinance, just to understand what the company would do? Or
That's what we're gonna do at the next. board.
Okay, okay,
This is gonna, hopefully have a couple of proposals to talk about.
okay,
To-
all right.
I have one and I have another one next
Yeah,
year.
okay.
Okay,
so
And if they don't like it, we will more.
okay.
I'd like to, for the next meeting, to talk about the board meeting rules of procedure.
I have that.
I'd like some clarification on something that possibly we have some changes.
So discussion of possible action and revisions to section 8.15. There was something in the city. Is that,
The one that rests.
someone, I forgot to brought that up, so.
Rules?
Okay, do you want that on the next agenda?
Yes.
Do we have one? Do we something?
And have we checked zoning to make sure it's good under the.
I checked it with, yeah, I checked it, I checked it with Darren and he gave his approval. Okay, yep,
I looked at it too, I thought it was good.
so I just wanted, yeah, make sure. Oh, that's right, okay. Anything else for new business?
Do we need to, the next meeting, address putting the payroll, check register, the index? I don't think we should be doing that.
And I suggested we don't either, and I know our accountant doesn't suggest it either. Because
So we need to
I'm gonna
discuss
say
that,
the
is
word
that
wrong.
deal with that?
but Charlton talked about students.
I should have records.
Oh, okay.
Jamie took it out after Shane and CLA.
Okay,
A lot of other villages do, but she took it down.
so going forward, we won't do it, or do we want to put it?
I'll send it to you, I think it's recommended then, but I won't put it on the website. And if somebody wants to see it, it's
No, I-
public records. they
Right,
can-
yeah.
Let make them come up.
Okay.
Is that in the, is that in the rules?
No, it's an ordinance to make it available to the trustees. That the check register and the budget actually report would be available every month to the trustees, but not that it would go up on the website.
We can always tinker with this one, because I thought it was discussed about that.
Anything else?
Just the next meeting.
Just a reminder for, go ahead then.
Just, I mean, also, I mean, the next, the public works positions need to be ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
let's-
Item 12 and 13.
Okay. Just so the current board meeting rules and ordinances state that, any trustee, just email me and let me know that you have an agenda item, and it's the Monday before the next meeting. Okay?
Unless it's an emergency meeting and then you add 24 hours.
Right,
Right.
yep, and then,
Emergencies are very rare.
yeah.
Just have.
Yeah.
And it was an emergency. It was an emergency. Yeah. For a special board meeting, I'm pretty sure that it says that 2 of you have to agree. So if you need
In
a,
writing.
yeah, in writing, if you want a special board meeting, 2 of you have to agree to it, okay? But for an agenda item, just the Monday before the next meeting.
To avoid life inconveniences, if you would copy the village code.
Yeah, I'm not gonna send you anything anymore.
Because
All the
our village president's not gonna respond to you, the Jamie might just to verify if something you asked for is unclear or not.
So I don't know if I can ask this, I don't know if I can read it, but, so the Monday before, more or less the agenda is set.
Let's see.
So there shouldn't be, after the Monday before, there shouldn't be anything added. I mean, there might be,
No, yeah, we clarified that, because that did happen, when you arrived for a meeting and then you had additional things in your folder, but you didn't have time to review it. And so we did make it so that by that Monday that I can't change it, I can't add things, and you're not gonna arrive and there's gonna be additional items, on
so
the
basically
table.
on Tuesday, we know what the agenda is.
Basically by that Tuesday.
It says, but no substantive revisions, additions, or deletions to an agenda may occur after 5 p.m. on Wednesday, preceding the Monday regular village board meeting. But a request in writing or by email to the village president by a trustee on the Monday preceding, as Jude said, may be made to the village president to add an agenda item to the immediately upcoming Monday regular board.
So
That's
basically, the agenda said on Monday, more information on those items to be added up until Wednesday.
At 5 o'clock.
And then everybody gets their packet on Thursday, and it gets uploaded to the website on Thursday, so everybody has time before Monday.
So,
We're gonna talk about that today, because there's other things I have, memos from attorneys and things like that.
Yeah, I think
They're
there's language
confidential.
about that.
Yeah,
There's language about what can't be uploaded.
so technically, on Tuesday,
Yes,
we could actually contact Jamie, and find out what's on the agenda. Okay.
But there could be,
you know,
there could be
does
an
everyone
invitation.
have this, or maybe we'll start with you guys each?
I do, but the additions and stuff that made it a little confusing, that
It's clear as well. Just ask me. It's a joke. It is.
Does Jamie have that?
Yeah, I sent
Okay.
it. Yep.
Could you just make a note to email us, all of us, the
Well,
next
it's
day?
2025.
But you guys are taking it up at your next meeting too, so yeah, it's good to review it.
Yeah. So if we wouldn't mind doing that, then we all are on the same page.
Anything else for new business? Okay. And then if anything comes up, the Monday before the meeting. So the next Monday meeting is actually Memorial Day. So the way it's written is if your next, in our policy, if your next Monday meeting is on a holiday, then it's the Tuesday after the meeting.
Well, it shall be held on a day designated by the board and at the same hour and place.
So possibly, I recommend the Tuesday, the 26th, because on the 27th, our building inspector goes on vacation for 2 weeks. And we will need him at that meeting, before he goes on vacation on the 27th. So I do recommend the 26th, but how is that for everybody else? This holiday going on? Wes?
I'll be back.
Everybody's good? Dan, you sure?
I'll be back.
So is it okay to do 6 o'clock on Tuesday, May 26th? Okay? There may be a planning commission before that. Okay?
Oh,
Yeah. So the planning commission might be at 6 and then we can meet at 7. Is that okay?
well,
Does that fit?
no,
or
we're gonna do it, we have to do it at our, because the village says, does everybody live at the same hour?
So how can we fit a planning commission meeting?
Let's have a meeting at 5,
Do the planning at 5?
5 or 5:30.
Okay, there's enough to be a planning commission at 5. Okay, possibly, we'll send that out for everything. A couple of things that people have been waiting on that we really want to get done with the planning commission.
Question.
Yep.
If we want to come to the planning commission meeting,
Oh, please.
okay, no, I mean, we have an issue with walking quorum if.
No,
we show up.
because Jay's gonna put at the bottom, and all our agendas should say that a majority of the gathering information.
Okay,
It should
just.
And that's
You know
actually
what
the
I'm talking
same,
about.
that's actually the same thing for committees. Like everybody can also the
public meeting.
same thing. If there's a committee meeting, everybody can attend.
But then before you can't sit in the back and talk. Okay?
Can we pass notes like?
Yeah, no,
No passing notes.
lawyers don't go to jail, remember?
Do we want to discuss next meeting, how we're gonna handle public works? I mean, I'd like to have a conversation with our workers.
That's on the agenda for the next meeting.
What do you mean when you handle public work?
Well, I mean, they're kind of running things on their own right now.
With me
Yeah.
and Jamie and the inspector. So when things come in, so far when people have called.
Well, no, but are you asking for a?
That's exactly what I want to talk about. So how public works is being handled.
So that would be a part of the committee discussion, correct?
So you're asking for things outside the committee,
Correct.
just, so would it be public works
Generally,
protocol?
Yeah.
Protocol and responsibilities.
Got it.
That's what you.
The day-to-day stuff, that we're
Yeah.
used to.
how it's being handled.
So that would be committee.
So would it actually be discussion and action or just discussion?
I would, it's up to you, if it's your.
I guess we can show action, but I don't think there'd be action.
Just as, you just want to know what it is, okay?
But actually, there is,
Okay. That's good. Protocols are great. Anything else? Anybody want to adjourn?
I don't know,
Wait a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a good night.